Alright, biology. 1B. I'm just not feeling it, guys. Long weekend with my crazy cousins.
Yeah, we've heard it all.
Alright. What are you doing on your phone? Put your phone away. Don't take a picture of me. What are you doing? Detention.
I thought we had that type of relationship.
We don't. Alright, time for some notes. Put your computers away. Come on. From day one I've said this. Alright, Destiny, just come present on the reproductive system.
Good morning, class, and today you will learn about the reproductive system. So first, what is the function? The primary function is to work with the opposite sex in order to procreate. In males, the primary purpose is the production of sperm and the delivery of sperm to the female eggs. In females, the primary purpose is the vagina and uterus, which receives the sperm, as well as the ovaries, which produce the eggs. The two bottom pictures will depict the female and male parts involved in a reproductive system. What is the difference between male and female genitalia? First, internal and external genitalia develop around 6 weeks after conception. At this point, genitalia does not indicate sex, so male and female genitalia are identical. Gonads are included and will develop into either testes or ovaries. The genital tubercle develops into the penis in males and the clitoris in women. And the left scrotal area develops into the scrotum in males and the labia majora in women. The external genitalia have obvious structural differences. For example, the male gonads are on the outside of the body in the form of testes, while women's gonads are on the inside of the body in the form of ovaries. The function within reproduction is substantially different. The purpose of male genitalia is to fertilize eggs by delivering the sperm within semen, and the purpose of female genitalia is to receive the sperm and carry the fertilized eggs. And now we have the reproductive system and other systems. In the endocrine system, the development of gonads is regulated by hormones secreted from glands. Sexual maturation of gonads during puberty is caused by release of gonadal hormones. The activation of genes as embryos determines sex, causing the release of testosterone for men and estrogen for women from developing glands, causing the development of the sex-specific organs. For the skeletal system, hormones secreted from gonads during puberty cause the skeletal system to grow at an extremely high rate. For the muscular system, secretion of testosterone causes an increase in muscle growth. And now we have reproducing in insects. Male insects have testes that produces sperm and delivers the sperm to the female through an ejaculatory duct, just like humans. Female insects have ovaries that produces eggs. However, they lay their eggs instead of giving birth to live offspring. Additionally, many insects lay up to 10,000 eggs at a time, while reproduction in humans usually yields 1 fertilized egg. On to reproduction of birds. Birds do not have external sex organs unlike humans. Instead, males and females have a cloaca, which is an internal pouch that opens up to the outside. Birds have ovaries and testes, which are housed in a cloaca. Male birds deliver semen to the female, fertilizing her eggs like human intercourse. This often results in the fertilization of multiple eggs, unlike humans. And now, finally, reproducing a plant. Plants reproduce either sexually or asexually. So first we have sexual reproduction. Most plants have flowers containing both male and female gametophytes. Female gametophyte comes within the ovule. Male gametophytes is in pollen, and pollen is delivered to ovule of the flower of another plant via the pollen tube, which is very similar to female and male intercourse of humans. When it enters ovule, pollen fertilizes 2 eggs through double fertilization. And now we have come to asexually reproducing plants. There are 4 main ways. budding, vegetative propagation, fragmentation, and agamogenesis. For budding, it's basically where growths emerge from the original plant and form identical daughter organisms. For vegetative propagation, it's identical organisms that grow from expansive structures such as runner roots, similar to onions. For fragmentation, a piece of original plant that separates can grow into new organisms. For agamogenesis, it's the reproduction through spores, where meiosis creates spores which are released and can grow into identical organisms without fertilization.
All right, good job, Destiny. That was really good. Let's talk about some diseases that come along with the reproductive system. So, endometriosis occurs when the cells that normally line the uterine cavity, called the endometrium, grow outside the uterus instead. Some current theories on how endometriosis causes infertility include the following. 1. Changes in the structure of the female reproductive organs may occur and affect the release of the egg after ovulation or interrupt the egg's movement through the fallopian tube. 2. The lining of the abdomen, which is called the peritoneum, may go through changes that affect its function. In women with endometriosis, the amount of fluid inside the peritoneum often increases. The fluid in the peritoneum contains substances that can negatively affect the functions of the egg, sperm, and fallopian tubes. Chemical changes in the lining of the uterus that occur as a result of endometriosis may affect the embryo's ability to implant properly and make it difficult for a woman to stay pregnant after conception. Raven, Chelsea, can you please give me 2 more examples of reproductive diseases?
Another reproductive disease is pelvic inflammatory disease. Bacteria can make its way up the vagina, through the uterus, and traverse the uterine tubes, which open up into the abdominal cavity. Inflammation of the lining of the abdominal cavity, the peritoneum, causes abdominal pain. Although there are many potential causes of pelvic inflammatory disease, gonorrheal infection is one of them. Chronic inflammation of the uterine tubes can occlude them, resulting in infertility. Raven, do you have your disease?
Prolapse uterus. Ligaments hold the uterus in proper position so that it does not prolapse or herniate into the vagina. Severe prolapse can result in the uterine cervix protruding from the vaginal opening. Surgical repair is typically required to restore the uterus to its proper anatomical position. This is so boring.
I know, we could have presented that so much better.
All right, well then how about y'all present on the endocrine system, which is the collection of glands that produce hormones that regulate mood, growth, and development, tissue function, metabolism, and sexual function and reproductive processes. All right, hormones, guys. They are as the body's chemical messengers. Hormones transfer information and instructions from one set of cells to another. Many different hormones move through the bloodstream, but each type of hormone is designed to affect only certain cells. A gland is a group of cells that produces and secretes or gives off chemicals. Endocrine glands release more than 20 major hormones directly into the bloodstream, where they can be transported to cells in other parts of the body.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Bring 'em.
We've got the endocrine system. Oh, I hope you're listening. It has so many glands. Your body does demand. Hypothalamus is first, and it's a section of the brain. Controls temperature, thirst, and hunger, sleep, and mood. It also takes when your hormones start tripping. Then this gland's on a mission, maintaining homeostasis. Gotta balance all those bases. The thymus gets the T-cells to make them more mature. To attack only foreign cells, we need to be assured. Thyroid produces hormones T3 and T4. It controls the rate which cells produce energy. Everything's important, oh, it helps us live. I love the endocrine, my hormones sent through my blood Transferring info in a cell squad. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. The collection of glands that produce, regulate my mood and tissue. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. The parathyroid are for small glands that all work together. Regulate calcium in the blood to make life better than pituitary. No bigger than a pea, but divided into two parts, 'cause it's mighty. The pituitary gland is often called the master, controls other hormone glands in order to function faster, like the thyroid and adrenals, ovaries, and testicles, baby. Adrenal consists of two glands, the cortex and medulla act as friends. One regulates on water and the other increases heart rate and blood pressure. My hormones sent through my body, transferring info in a cell squad. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. The collection of glands that produce, regulate my mood and tissue. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
Pancreas produces and secretes digestive enzymes. Insulin and glucagon controls blood sugar levels. Then the ovaries. Estrogen and progesterone affect the reproduction functions. And the testes producing testosterone affect the sperm production. My hormones sent through my body, transferring info in a cell squad. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. The collection of glands that produce, regulate my mood and tissue. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
Alright, good job, Raven and Chelsea. That was quite a video. Alright, so now we gotta talk about the diseases that come along with this body system. So, hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a condition in which the levels of the thyroid hormones in the blood are very high. In kids and teens, the condition is usually caused by Graves' disease, an immune system problem that causes the thyroid gland to become very active. Doctors may treat hyperthyroidism with medications, surgery, or radiation treatments. Another example of a disease is hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a condition in which the levels of thyroid hormones in the blood are very low. Thyroid hormone deficiency slows body processes and may lead to fatigue, a slow heart rate, dry skin, weight gain, and constipation. Kids and teens with this condition may also grow more slowly and reach puberty at a later age. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an immune system problem that often causes problems with the thyroid and blocks the production of thyroid hormone. Doctors often treat this problem with medication. Destiny, can you give me one more example of a disease with this body system?
Type 1 diabetes. When the pancreas fails to produce enough insulin, type 1 diabetes, previously known as juvenile diabetes, occurs. In kids and teens, type 1 diabetes is usually an autoimmune disorder, which means that some parts of their body's immune system attack and destroy the cells of the pancreas that produces the insulin. To control their blood levels and reduce the risk of developing diabetes problems, kids and teens with this condition need regular injections of insulin.
Okay, now some fun facts about the endocrine system. It's a 2,000-year-old medical science. More than 200 years before Jesus was born, Chinese medical professionals were using gypsum to extract hormones out of donated urine. When combined with saponin, they discovered that these hormones were useful for healing. The term hormone was actually coined about a century ago. This is because scientists finally figured out what the ancient Chinese already knew. Before modern testing methods, doctors would actually taste urine to determine if it was sweet enough for a proper diagnosis. Finally, in the late 19th century, the knowledge we have of our endocrine system came from experiments that occurred with dogs. Diabetes was purposely induced by having the pancreas removed from the animal. Then they took the adrenal gland extracts from dogs and injected it into other dogs to induce a heightened state. Next, some fun facts about the reproductive system. 1. The reproductive system contains both the largest and smallest cell in the body. Men with higher pitched voices have a higher sperm count. The vagina is as acidic as beer or tomatoes. It is kept acidic by lactobacilli, a group of bacteria that produces lactic acid. By the 20th week of pregnancy, the quantity of blood in the mother doubles.